Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Catherine Delaney and this is today's tarot. So we have a presentation of some of the zodiac influences that are happening right now astrologically showing up in our reading today. But I'm just going to take a moment to walk through some of the cards and then we'll go into that a little bit deeper as I go through the reading. The first card that we have for today is the Queen of Wands. So this is our dough note for the day. It would be our active force that is coming through today with an idea of really what we want to do and where we want to go. And it's not necessarily able to see what it takes in the long haul to actually make that happen. And the reason why I say that is because this is a cardinal fire energy. So if you consider the energy of fire and how it moves towards something, it's not something that lasts, it just moves and goes through something. And being associated with Aries and the sign of Aries, it's this sense of development of self, from like the little s self to the capital S self. So we are feeling this motivation today to actually go out and do something new. Now where that's being met in life today is actually with the opposite energy, which is the Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords is a cardinal air energy. So in the context of the zodiac system, they're in directly opposite positions. And that's really interesting to me that these cards showed up, because right now we are experiencing a direct opposition of, we have a planet in Libra, which is Venus, and then we have a planet in Aries, which is Mars, which are the natural rulership of those zodiac signs. And we are actually experiencing that tug of war astrologically today. So I think it's interesting that those cards showed up. But we can talk a little bit more about that here shortly. But what we're experiencing is that our fire, our inner fire that's actually drawing us out to do something else today, is being met with either some conversation or some idea that is, giving us some resistance or means of having to look at it differently, or a way to work around it. We also have just elementally the combination of fire and air, which has you would think it has actually an energetic that works together, because air feeds fire, right? And elementally, water and earth have a natural functional relationship, and fire and air have a natural functional relationship. So it is interesting that while that is considered, we also have this opposition between Aries and Libra. Now, it's important to consider that, oppositions aren't always bad. They actually create this tug of war or a friction in a situation that is ultimately what and where growth happens, right? Like, everything that has another element added to it actually helps it to evolve and grow more. And what's interesting astrologically is that while we have this natural, let's see, this is just a diagram I drew the other day. But while we have this natural opposition between Libra and Aries, we also have this square happening with the conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter. So if you could imagine, for instance, two really strong energies having kind of this tug of war and, pulling each other to kind of do some kind of work. In the center of that, you have this other force of nature, quite literally, that's a combination of Jupiter and Pluto. And Pluto is a transformative planet. It brings change that you can't go back from. And Jupiter brings and lends a big quality to things. It rules big business. It rules our spiritual search and things that are out beyond us. So it's as if we are all having something step into our lives in this moment of time that's ultimately like pulling these two aspects of our own nature together, because we each one of us has, you know, Aries in our chart somewhere and has Libra in our chart somewhere. So for instance, if you were Aries rising, this would be your first house, and this is where all the planets would sit. But if you are, you know, let's say you're a Sagittarius rising, these planets are going to be sitting in different houses within your chart and in aspect to your own natal planets. So where these planets are influencing your personal life are, they can be revealed by looking at your chart in that way. But it's interesting to me, right, that these two cards showed up today, because this is actually happening right now astrologically. And then the third card that we have for today is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is all about, what are we going to act, or are we going to let it go? You know, in fives in numerology, it's a decision point. It's a fork in the road. You decide one way or another. And this individual is either picking up a sword or letting it go. And swords are traditionally associated with ideas and communications. So there could be, you know, some communication and offering that comes in today, possibly in the form of a relationship or a business partnership, or, you know, some close communication with a close friend, that kind of puts this new perspective in front of this aspect of yourself, and you have to make a decision on whether or not you want to act on it, or if you just want to let it go. So these are the cards for today. I did recently create a Enneagram reading and a Tarot reading, and gave a little bit of an astrological snapshot on my YouTube channel. It was put out last night on 11/11, and there's some little timestamps in there, so you can go to specific parts if you want to go to those. And I'm also going to start offering new moon readings for each astrological sign, and offering those on YouTube as well, so please look out for those. And if you have any questions or want to reach out, please do. I appreciate hearing back from people. It encourages me to keep going when, you know, if people are appreciating the content that I'm putting out there and getting use from it. So aside from all of that, I wish you a very blessed day through this, you know, decision-making process that's going to be happening today. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.